times what happens is that like you, of course, you couldn't share, means you don't have a romantic relationship and all. But here I would like to point out that normally what happens in teenagers, of course, this is the age where they are going to get attracted to the opposite sex. They are going to have these girlfriend boyfriend kind of a thing, and they may get involved emotionally also quite a lot. But then what happens is, since like what he said, sometimes it's not that serious, it's not that serious, and it's like, okay, they are more than a friend. The person can be a little more than a friend and all that, but then emotions are really attached. You have to understand it's all about the emotions that getting attached, or involvement of the emotions that is happening at that level. So many times what happens is that when these kind of relationships break, they can be really kind of take a toll on the kids. They can really affect the studies. They can affect their relationship with their friends, or maybe their relationship with their family members, because when they come home they are not happy, they're very sad, they can get angry, they can kind of get short-tempered, and they can go, I will not say depression is too huge a word to use, but yes, they can get into that kind of a very sulky mode where they really want to be left alone. They don't want to interact with anybody. So these kind of relationships many a times can take toll on the kids. But then how do they sail through this? So here are a few points for the kids out here. You have to understand at this stage in your life, the academics or the studies, it should take the front seat. Because everything has a time in your life. You have a life, you have that timeline. You are a child, then you grow up, then you become into an adult and all that. So everything has a specific time to go through and to experience those kind of things. So during this phase, I'm not saying that, okay, you should not get involved romantically with anybody. Okay, it's fine to get involved romantically. It's good to have those emotions. It feels nice to have those emotions at the early age. But then again, you have to understand that this is not end of the world. This is not where your life stops. This is where your life is starting. So in case if the relationship doesn't go the way you want it to go, my advice to the teenagers is that think about it, that okay, this is not the end of the road. Now the priority is studies, the academics which are there. So the front seat has to be taken by your academics. These things can be handled later on also. As in how you progress in life, as in how you get more and more mature, you will have that more of maturity to handle these kind of relationships. You will have more maturity to go through these emotions in a better way, and you will come out as a better person also. So yes, my dear friends, please do not get bogged down. Please don't start sulking. Please do not let your family members get affected or your studies get affected because of certain relationships if they don't go the way you want them to go. That is applicable to even your friends. Sometimes, teenagers lose their best friends in this time. The people whom they think were their friends, or maybe a person, specifically one person whom they think that he or she was the best friend. Suddenly, the dynamics of that relationship starts changing. And at that point of time, then you feel, again, you go through the same kind of a thing. You may feel sad, you may start sulking, you may feel agitated, you may feel frustrated. And that everything can actually spill into your studies, it can spill into your other relationships, your conversation with your parents, your other friends. It can get affected very badly. So again, the same advice, that every relationship has its own dynamics. You have to understand, no relationship is an obsolete. It cannot remain the same. It has to change. It changes. The nature of the relationship changes. We have to understand this, that the nature changes, then the way the person behaves, it's going to change. So all these dynamics, we have to prepare our mind to go through all these changes of the relationship. And we need to have that mindset that, okay, nothing is constant, but the only thing that changes is constant. So that applies to relationship also.
Also, a piece of advice is that always remember that relationships, first of all, they are from both sides, because there are two people involved, or it can be multiple people involved. It's not just from your side, like you don't give your input, you also receive output. And also to receive that, you are an observer in this. So I think of myself as, okay, as an observer, whatever input I get from the other person, I have to give my input as well. That's how you collectively grow. And also to like sail through, my advice, like to sail through relationships or most of your relationships, is that You observe, and whatever is the best course at that time, you take it. Even if it's wrong, I don't think that any decision you take is wrong. Like, if you are willing to fight for that decision, and if for the both of you, if that decision is correct at that time, then take that decision, because later on regretting it won't really actually help.
That's an amazing advice that Avnish has given, and I think it is going to be helpful for the teenagers out here and for the parents here. When you see your child going through this kind of upheaval of relationships, again I'll say that become their support system, take them into trust, tell them that you are there to understand, listen to them. I'm not saying that every time they're going to need your advice, but they're definitely going to need someone to listen to them. So give them that listening ear, understand them, and just give them that assurance that yes, we are there to support you. Whatever emotions you're going through, you can give a certain kind of an advice how to sail through those emotions. So parents, you can definitely become their support system when these kids go through the upheaval of emotions in this very, very crucial age. I'll say the crucial phase of their life, because this is how their emotional well-being is going to shape up as adults also. Thank you friends for watching this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. So stay tuned. Thank you.